Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy Dinari here. Before we get started with another episode of the Youngbouls Podcast, I want to let you guys know, make sure you guys go check out ybpod.com. If you like everything Youngbouls Podcast related and you want to find one place where everything can be, ybpod.com is where it's at. For old episodes, old IG posts, old TikToks, anything like that. And make sure you guys sign up to join the newsletter so you guys can find out when the merch drops, when new episodes are coming, and when other important, amazing things happen with the podcast. You want to be in the know. So make sure you guys go to ybpod.com. And if you want to sign up for the live episode, man, there's a link at the top at ybpod.com in the corner. It says live episode and all in red. You can't miss it. You click it. You fill out the info if you want to be part of the live episode, man. And boom, you're registered. So if you want to be a part of something special, you want to be, join the family and everything like that, go check out ybpod.com. Tell them Dinari sent you. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And yeah, ybpod.com, everything Youngbouls Podcast, all in one place. Catch you. Ladies and gentlemen, man, what's good? It's your boy Dinari here. And before we get started with this brand new episode of the Youngbouls Podcast, I want you guys to go check out LegacyJerseyShop.com, man. LegacyJerseyShop.com. Shout out to my boy Mateo out there doing great things, man. If you want a nice quality soccer jersey, make sure you guys go check out Legacy Jersey Shops. There's international legends, Premier League legends, all-time soccer greats. If you want a nice jersey, y'all know where to go find it. It's going to be a mystery box at the end of this month, man. Make sure you guys follow them on IG at Legacy Jersey Shop on IG. I'll put it in the bio. I'll put it in the IG story on the post and everything like that after this episode drops. Make sure you guys go check it out, man. There's a lot of great things over there, and there's a lot more things on the way as well. A lot more, different jerseys and stuff going to be able to be dropped. So make sure you guys go check out Legacy Jersey Shop. And with all that being said, enjoy today's episode of the Youngbouls Podcast. Peace.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Youngbouls Podcast. It's your boy Dinari here. Back like we never left because we're back for another episode. We have a huge episode today, man. We got an interview today with my boy Ty. Shout out to my boy Ty. We just got a lot of, great combo that we talked about, man, about his clothing business, about his, his background, about, how he got into doing designing and things like that. But it was a great talk. It was really fun and really enjoyable. You guys are going to enjoy this for sure. That's coming up at the latter part of the episode. But we're going to start today off by talking about something that caught my eye over the past couple of days. Now, I've always grown up being a baseball, basketball, football kid. As far as watching, I don't play football. No, 2 days and I quit. But hockey was the main talk. Not the main talk, but it got a little bit of, airtime last week because U.S. played against Canada and the nation faced the nations challenge, things like that. Canada won. Whoop, whoop. That was cool. Shout out to them. I don't watch hockey, so I don't understand the significance. But I'm from what I've been looking at, it's been interesting. And apparently it's, it's their thing. But when it comes to what I'm talking about for this, it's not more or less about the soccer game, but it's more or less about one person in particular, his comments about one particular person. And the particular person I'm talking about here is former NHL player PK Subban. Now, PK Subban is black. He's one of the few black players that I remember who played hockey outside of the dude from the Flyers and the dude from the Capitals. Don't remember their names, but those are the only black dudes I remember. Now, PK Subban was in the headlines over the past couple of days because first off, he said a lot of things about, the state of the NBA and about how the players don't have enough passion and things like that, which is a whole nother conversation. That's not what I'm focused on with this. For this is what I'm talking about. He basically said before the game, the hockey game last week against the U.S., Trump said that he was going to call Team USA, before the final and basically talk to the team, whatever, some words of encouragement by the president. And Subban said in response, the Trizzy train could be coming through soon. Stay tuned. Now, look, man, calling Trump the Trizzy train is grounds for, a suspension, is, because who calls him that? But the thing that I think that is just so interesting about this, man, and I feel like it's just so disheartening as an African American too, is that, you're just supporting that. The bigotry, the racism, everything that guy. Ooh. But the thing about this that was so interesting was former NHL player, Akim Aliu, who was a Ukrainian-Canadian hockey player, bounced around multiple countries, responded to Subban and basically said, and I quote, I've watched you from afar and never said anything for two main reasons. One being the respect I have for your brothers and parents, and two, I've always wanted to keep the infighting between folks of color to a minimum. He furthermore said, this was something I couldn't let go. He basically went on to call Subban a disgrace and a humiliation of the very land you were born and raised in. I've known you since I was 10 years old and played with you, so I'd say I know you better than most at a deeper level. You were a hell of a player, and instead of using your platform, you did everything in your power to gain acceptance and popularity. Nothing with you has ever been genuine, but transactional, and usually for publicity reasons. Even during this most sensitive time, both politically and socially, you take the side of the oppressor because that's who you make your money from. I would have thought the love you have always claimed for your country, a country represented at the highest levels, would shine through the pushback on rhetoric of annexation and humiliation of the very land you were born and raised in. But even that doesn't get you to do the right morally. This is the reason why every place you have played, no one liked you, and players on the inside have always known who you really are. A sellout of the highest proportions. You are the perfect example of why people of color haven't progressed at the highest levels of society. From one man to another, your disgrace and history will judge you accordingly. That was all Akim Aliu. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm not saying anything out of the ordinary here. But, man, that was a lot. And you have to look at it from this point of, you got to look at it like this, man. Look, we just came out of a very, very divisive election. The second time around. The second edition of a very divisive election. Where the person who should have won is not in office. Where the person who definitely did not need to win is in office. We've seen the things that is already taken shape under this presidency, and even today, man, not even just this story itself, but the fact that Trump hired a former, Secret Service who turned into a podcaster to be the head of the FBI. That's the story for here or there, but that's also ridiculous. Because that's like me getting appointed to being the head of the FBI. I just do podcasting, man. This is all I got. But back to what I was saying. It's just so interesting, man, that every time we have a chance to be on the right side of history, we always choose the wrong side, man. And Subban is not the only person of color who has faltered to, honestly, Trump's rhetoric and yeah, honestly, no. You've had people like John Jones who've publicly shown support for Trump. Usman, who's publicly shown support for Trump. I can name a lot more people of color who have shown, mad love for Donald Trump and everything like that. But the fact of the matter is this, man. In a sport where there's not that many African American people, the fact that you're showing love to Trump, calling him Trizzy Train, and, making a little corny joke about the whole thing about him showing up to give an encouragement to Team USA, it's ridiculous, man. And it honestly is corny, and it just shows who you are as a person. And people are just looking at you sideways like, how can you stand for this, man? Now, PK Subban, as I stated before, is black. He and many different arenas that he has played in has experienced racism to the highest level. He has definitely experienced people calling him names, people making racist remarks, people doing whole lots of things. So now my follow-up question for Subban is this. All these things happen to you, yes. Why in the world are you sitting over here thinking that it's cool for you and your conscience that you're going to go ahead and side with the person and be cool with the person who literally on numerous occasions has been perfectly fine with just being as racist, as bigoted as possible, and continues to do that? It's not going to change. And the sad thing about it is this, man. The one thing in Akeem Alu's response that really stood out to me is that he said this part right here is really what stood out to me. You were a hell of a player, and instead of using your platform, you did everything in your power to gain acceptance and popularity. Nothing with you has ever been genuine, but transactional and usually for publicity reasons. The reason why that's so interesting to me is because as athletes, as people who are under a giant microscope, athletes have the ability to not only tell stories, but they have the ability to say things that the rest of the world, the rest of the people in society have trouble even saying. Athletes, you look at Black Lives Matter, you look at what, the NBA did for that. You look at it, what the Players Association was a part of when it came to the kneeling and the workshops and everything like that. Athletes have the power to make change and disrupt. And instead of choosing to do that, instead of choosing to stand for something, Subban is using his status to just stand, on 10 toes for Trump. And it's ridiculous, man. I'm not sitting up here trying to get Subban to, like and support who he supports, man. But I also feel like, in a sense, it's like who you are as a person, what you represent to a group of people, what you represent to a race, and you're not showing, I don't know, man. You're not representing the race the right way, man. And the way you're carrying yourself for Trump, man, it's ridiculous, it's whack, and it makes people look at you sideways, man. And then it's even worse of a look because of everything that you had to say about the NBA and how people aren't playing for anything and how the NBA is soft and everything like that, which, again, whole different discussion. But it's like no one's really trying to listen to that, man. No one's trying to listen to you. Respectfully, I don't think anybody in the NBA even cares about your comments, bro. No one's going to be like, oh, PK Subban said this. Let's change it. No. They're going to look at it, laugh about it, chuckle, go to sleep, man, and wake up tomorrow and act like nothing even happened. But, Subban, you're going to have to look at what you said, man, and understand and realize that what you say and the people you align yourself with, that's going to have some consequences, man, where people are going to be looking at you, not only just today, but for the rest of your career, basically being like, yo, you support this, man. You stand for this. How are you all about love and peace, but you stand for somebody who wants to divide and wants to be racist and separate people and families and everything like that? Everything that he stands for, you support that? Nah, man. And it's always, so interesting, man, with African Americans, man, black people just in general, when it comes to them showing love for Trump, man. For me, being a black person, man, I've grown up in like a liberal household. It was never any, Mitt Romney posters or anything like that. I was always Obama and, Democratic side. And, I get that, in cases, there's like arguments between aisles and stuff like that. But I could never understand, like, especially for this election right here, how you could be, all about peace, love, all about, unity and everything like that, but then you go vote for Trump. It's the same thing that it's like, I don't understand, man. I don't understand how people wanted, equality and all this stuff, and they said, we're going to vote for Trump. Trump's not going to do this, he's not going to do that, and then sure enough, he does it. It makes no sense. I don't get it. I never could understand it. I never could understand why you would want that to be back in office again, man. And if it's going to get better. I kid you not. Earlier today, when I was telling my mom about the podcast that just got signed into like the, head of the FBI and everything like that, my mom sent me a link, and she basically, there was like something that was being played on the, HUD offices, and I kid you not, it was an AI video of Trump sucking Elon Musk's toes. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It's disgusting. It's horrid, and it's ridiculous, man. And it's downright just a complete mockery of this presidency. It's a complete mockery of what this country, what being president means in this country. And it just completely, it's just stupid, man. It's stupid, it's dumb, and it makes absolutely no sense, man. Trump is appointing all these people in office who have never even had any political experience whatsoever. You have a guy like Elon who is sitting around here trying to act like he knows what he's doing. He doesn't. He appointed Linda McMahon, who, if you don't know who Linda McMahon is, that's Stephanie McMahon's mom. Stephanie McMahon from WWE. To be a part of the, head of the Department of Education. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? And again, this goes back to the whole thing. People say that, oh, voting doesn't matter. I'm not voting. I don't like any of the candidates. This is what you got to deal with, man. And that's why this election was so important. But apparently, people didn't get the memo because we're back with another 4 years of this again, man. And I would say, part of me wants to say it's going to get easier, but it's not. Every day is going to be a challenge. It's going to be interesting to see how many more people like PK Subban continue to show support for a guy like this, man. And I know you don't listen to this podcast, PK. I know you don't. But I'm just going to say this as if you're listening to this right now. As a black man, as somebody who didn't know anything, mind you, didn't know anything about hockey. But, I was like, when I was little, I was like, yo, you're like PK Subban. That sounds like he's a black dude playing hockey. That's dope. That's cool. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. Because I know for a fact there's a lot of, if there's some black kid somewhere in the world right now who supports, like, who rocks with you for sure. But seeing what you're saying about Trump and everything like that, he's looking at you like a whole different person. And it's like, it's just sad, it's disappointing. And again, kudos to Akeem Alou for, calling him out on his behavior, because by doing this, he's holding him accountable, one, and it's also, two, it's really putting the light right on Subban. According to the report and everything, Subban has not yet responded to what he said, but I mean, I feel like it'll be best if he doesn't respond. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Obviously, it's a whole thing. I'll probably have a lot more to say about it later, but I've already spent a good enough time talking about this. But just let me know what you guys say in the comments, what you guys think about it. But let's move it on. Moving on, man. Literally, as I'm about to move on to talk about Joel Embiid, Shams, shout out to my boy Shams, he said that Embiid is ruled out against the Chicago Bulls tonight, and that he's consulting with the doctors and collaborating with, physicians and everything like that, after completing imaging today on his knee. The same knee that's been giving him problems, I believe, since last year, I believe since last year. And the one thing that came up yesterday on NBA Countdown, after the Sixers lost on Saturday against the Nets to a Nick Claxton game winner, was whether or not they should just shut down Embiid for the season, let him go into the offseason, get the surgery, and just try that again next year. Shut him down. Shut him down completely. Closing, like it's done. It's done. As a Sixers fan, I was there when we were up. I was there when, we experienced great levels of winning, great levels of MVP greatness by M. Goats. But as a Sixers fan, it doesn't take you a long time to realize when you look at your team and the record and everything that this season's not going to really amount to nothing. Now, I'm checking right now because I'm pretty sure the Sixers just cracked 20 wins. The Sixers just cracked 20 wins. We may not get to 30 wins before we get to 40 losses. Shut the season down, man. Shut the season down. Honestly, there's a lot of nexus points in the season where you look at it to be like, oh, this is probably why the Sixers were, bad this season. Obviously, the whole Paul George thing was very questionable. Embiid not being ready for the season to start, that's another thing you have to look at. Maxey having to call out Embiid in team meetings, another nexus point you have to look at. It's the same thing with the Sixers, man. I feel like it's just time to just completely blow it up, man, and just let Embiid walk, man. I hate to say it, but the process is over. Embiid has been playing for the Sixers since 2016. We're in 2025 now. Embiid has had 3 solid MVP seasons. The furthest we got with Embiid in the playoffs is the second round, where we lost to Boston after being up 3-2. Tatum had 55 on us in a Game 7, and Embiid proceeds to score 13 points. Not even. He had 11. My fault. He had 11. Embiid last year was on the verge of possibly going back-to-back with MVP, and he injured himself against Golden State. And instead of just taking the rest of the season to be shut down, he comes back against the Knicks in the playoffs. Not only does he injure himself again in the playoffs, he has a brand new injury with half his face being numb, so he can't move half his face. And then he proceeds to not only rush back for that, but then proceeds to go to the Olympics and play 4 weeks in the Olympics, win gold, and then say, I'm not going to be ready for the season to start. I can't do back-to-backs. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And I'm honestly looking at it like, at this point, Joel, it's a thing where it's up to you, man. The whole thing about Embiid since he's been in the league has been how he's taking care of himself. Conditioning, physical therapy, injuries. When Embiid is on, by all means, he's one of the best gifted players in the league, for sure. But when Embiid is injured, it is so easy for teams to pick apart the Sixers because Embiid cannot stay healthy. And honestly, I just don't know how many more times Nick Nurse has it in him to continue to talk about Embiid and his injuries and stuff. If you look at the press conferences, Nick Nurse looks extremely tired, man. And I don't blame him because you got to remember, this is his second year here, and he has not yet had a healthy Sixers team heading into the playoffs. You got to feel for the guy. I mean, he's having to go out and try to win games with no disrespect whatsoever, but a team with Tyrese Maxey, Ricky Council, Justin Edwards, and Eric Gordon, and Kyle Lowry. Like, come on, man. Paul George has been injured this season. Embiid's been injured. Most of the time it's been Maxey. So it's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the Sixers are doing, man. But if I'm them, I'm shutting down Embiid for the rest of the season, and we're just going to see what happens next year. And if next year doesn't pan out the way it needs to, we really need to have a conversation and shopping Embiid to go somewhere else because I just don't see this thing working. And I want to be optimistic. I want to believe that we're going to go get Cooper Flag. But the Wizards have not won 10 games yet. We're in February. We're about to be in March. The Wizards are going to mess around and get Cooper Flag. So, yeah, I just don't simply know what we're doing. But that's what I got to say about that. And lastly, man, one thing I want to talk about, Luka, 32-10. All I got to say about that is Mavericks, on Tuesday, you guys are in trouble. Luka may actually go for 42. I'm not going to lie. If there's a parlay slip that says Luka 25 plus for tomorrow's game, that is getting smashed. Luka may actually, especially with no AD, no Lively, no Gafford, Luka may go for 40 tomorrow, and it's not even funny. And what a perfect time for the Lakers to get like the killer Luka back, because I'm telling you, when Luka is on, like I said to you guys last week, this man had 70 points in the game. This man had a 60-20-10 triple-double. Luka was getting 14 and 8 on minutes restriction. It's over. It's over for the league. I'm telling you. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm not worried about OKC. OKC, they got vibes and stuff like that. Oregon, all that stuff, man. That's cool. You got the GOAT, and you got one of the best playmakers in the league on the same team. That automatically spells trouble. The only thing the Lakers need to do at this point is pick up a center, and they'll be straight. It's gonna be an interesting playoff, man. But I know for a fact, Lakers fans, I know you guys are just happy about the fact that you guys don't have to worry about a play-in this year, man. Because my gosh, by all means, it's good y'all making the playoffs, man. But going in via play-in, bro, for the past 2 years, man, must have been rough. So you guys are definitely, if you guys keep winning, you guys gonna be straight. Good position, man, to win the title this year, especially in the Western Conference that is really wide open. I mean, you talk about the Lakers having success. Golden State is 5-1, and they're 6 games since Jimmy Butler has arrived. So that's solid. The Grizzlies are continuing to do good with Zach Edey and everything like that. The Suns no, they're not. I was about to give them props. I'm tripping. Timberwolves are still finding ways to win games, even though they just lost last night. Oklahoma City, obviously the clear-cut 1 seed this year. They've been doing their thing. Hopefully they keep it going. And honestly, when you look at the West, same thing could be said about the East. The Cavs are really looking like solid contenders. They've been a different team than Cavs of the past, and they look like they could be a real competitor to the Celtics this year. The Knicks, on the other hand, they haven't been a team over 500, but they're still neck and neck. Haven't really been hearing much about Milwaukee. I don't think we got to worry about Milwaukee as much this year. Indiana, they're in the middle of the pack. Orlando, they're doing their thing. I'm just going to stop there because after that it's just... Oh, shout out to Detroit, too. Detroit's doing their thing as well. I'll say Detroit, but after that I'll stop. I'm not giving no props to the Bulls or the Sixers, the Wizards, anything like that, man. That's... Sorry. But, yeah, man. That's pretty much what I got to say about that. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. Without further ado, guys, I'd like to introduce you guys to this interview with my boy Ty. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here, the Youngbouls Podcast, man. We got a special one today. Long overdue, man. I've been trying to get my boy on for the past couple of semesters, man, since I've been doing this. But long overdue, man. We got my boy Ty in the building. Ty, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? How you doing? Thank you for having me, man.
No problem. Me and Ty, man, we go back since freshman year. He's a year ahead of me, so he's a senior. I'm a junior, obviously. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the courts. I would hoop with him and stuff like that, and that's how we, became tight and everything. And then when I started doing this whole podcasting thing and everything, I found out he started to do clothing and everything like that, like clothing brand and everything like that. And his brand is really nice. It's nice if you guys want to check it out. I'll put the link in the bio at the end of the episode and everything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's been doing this thing with that. And yeah, I just wanted to get him on for the episode, have him talk about his journey, talk about, what made him want to go into doing clothing and stuff like that, because it's such a hard thing to get into. And, it's even harder to be consistent with it. So without further ado, man, floor is yours, man. Talk to us, man. Talk to us about your journey, man. How far you come with this thing, man.
I bet. So, yeah, my name is Tashawn. I go by Ty Devon on Instagram. But like with clothing, I mean, I kind of started about like 2 years ago. Like my sophomore year of college, I was in a space. I was like, I kind of want to do something. Like, I played basketball all my life, but I didn't play for college, so I needed something to kind of like take my time and another a type of like craft or passion. So it was like I was like, what if I start a clothing brand? I always liked clothes. When I was growing up, I liked to like paint on shoes and stuff like that, and I was always trying to wear my dad's outfits and stuff. So I was always like interested in clothing and creating things. So I was like, let me just try that. So I tried that. I learned like Photoshop, Illustrator, stuff like that. School taught me some of those things, so I was grateful to have that. Like the basic knowledge. But yeah, after that, I just started my clothing brand. My stuff was kind of bad at first. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like that's everything. Your stuff gonna be bad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Keep going. But yeah, my stuff, I just kept getting better. I kept doing it, and a lot of people, I got a lot of support from people in college and people from back home. But then after I kept making stuff, I don't know, I kind of fell more in love with like just designing in general. So I kind of like, I don't know if you know this, but I kind of like strayed away from my own clothing brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I was gonna get into that for like the next question, because I remember you had the whole Shawnee Stackhouse thing, and it's like
yeah,
I don't be seeing any more of that,
yeah,
anymore. But I still be seeing you doing the designing stuff and everything like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped making stuff for Shiny Stackhouse like last summer. So I don't know. I kind of like at first it was I started designing like on the side to like make money, just to like help me
Mm.
like pay rent or whatever. But then I kept working with people, and I'm like, damn, like I kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like kind of working with different people, creating different things. Because if
Yeah.
you have your own brand, you stick to like a different, stick to the same kind of like concept, inspiration. But when you
Right.
work with other people, it's kind of different. So I fell in love with that and started working with more people and just built my clientele. So now I really like, I built like a business where I get to like make stuff for other people, and hopefully it gets, bigger and bigger. But that's how I started.
That's what's
A
up,
long
man.
way to go though, a long way to go.
For sure. For sure,
Yeah.
man. For sure. All right. So my first question for you, you already answered one of my questions, but obviously, for me, question for you is this, man. What's been the most rewarding part about your whole process, man? Like you said, you've been doing this since you've been a sophomore,
Yeah.
heading to your senior year, and your senior year now and everything. What's been the most rewarding part of you, being on this journey, man?
Honestly, I say two things. I say two things. I say one thing is definitely like seeing people like, use the design that you created for them and actually put it out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing other
Yeah.
people wear it, you feel like, I don't know, I feel like my idea and my creativity is like all over the globe. Not to say like I'm, everybody's wearing my stuff, but like, it's people in
Right.
Texas probably wearing my things or California wearing something that I created. So I think that's cool, and I think that's cool, like especially with clothing. Like it's a type of art form that could be shared, by so many people. You can wear
That's
this
dope.
tomorrow, wear it the next day. So definitely that. And also, I would say just looking back at where I started, and I stayed consistent and I kept grinding. So I definitely think, just looking back at how I was before and how much better I got, definitely.
That's. I think it's interesting that you say that, because like when you talked about how your thing was bad before and you stayed consistent and got better with it. I feel like it's synonymous to what I was been doing with this, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first started this, man, I didn't know how long this thing was gonna last. I thought it was gonna be like a little short term thing, but you know, the way you said that it's rewarding knowing that other people are rocking with your stuff, man. With this too, it's the same exact feeling. Just hearing people say that they like the episode or you know, everything like that, man. It shows that you put in the work. And even with your clothing and everything like that too, man. Like, you know, people have been checking you out, man. They've been seeing what you've been doing, man. You've been putting in the work, man. And
No, definitely.
I'm
I've
not
been
just saying
seeing
that because
like,
you, yeah.
no, I was gonna say like I see. I mean, how long you been doing this? Like a year or something like that, right? Or 2 years?
I've been doing this since freshman year, dog. I've been doing this since
Wow.
freshman
See,
year. Yeah.
I knew it was a long time though because I remember you posting it. You know what I'm saying? You definitely been consistent
Yeah.
with it too.
Yeah.
But damn, I didn't know it was 3 years though. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
I feel old, man. I've been doing this for a minute, but nah, I've loved the journey, man. Like with you and everything like that. Like, obviously, it's not done anything like that. Like I still got more stuff I'm trying to do, but
Yes.
journey so far has been rewarding, man. For sure, for
What
sure.
about you?
All right, next question for you, man. Next question. What is one thing with this clothing, that you want to say, like when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be when it comes to just like designing and stuff like that?
So my ultimate goal with this stuff, I like clothing design, but I also want to like, branch out for that. Like, I want to be like just labeled as a designer in
Yeah,
general, whether that's just sewing, creating clothes by hand or like, musical posters and being recognized by music, the music industry. So I honestly, long time ago, I wanted to be recognized as this like creative director, you know what I'm saying, that's getting hired for whatever. But short term, I definitely want to work within like a fashion house, whether it's like streetwear or luxury. I might go a streetwear route. But definitely like working with under like a brand like Kith or like Supreme or something like that.
yeah,
Just
yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
making some connections. Hopefully in New York. I really want to go to New York when I graduate, so hopefully it's in New York. So
Is
yeah.
Fashion Week like working or like Fashion Week and stuff like that? That's like an aspiration of yours.
Hell
Like you
yeah,
want
hell
to.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely want to be out there. Like next, I think the next one is in fall. Definitely want to be out there in fall.
Got you,
Definitely.
got you,
Yeah,
got you,
yeah,
got you. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. I'm trying to think. All right, next one. Next one. What is you talked about, obviously you getting into like design and everything like that. One thing that I've seen from like you just posting about is that I see you having sessions and stuff on Twitch, man, and
Oh
like
yeah.
doing some stuff like that. So talk to us a little bit about that because I think that's like really interesting and stuff like that. It's like free game almost. So
Yeah, yeah,
talk
yeah,
to
yeah.
us about
Yeah, I started. I mean, I feel like as everybody, all kids wanted to be a YouTuber growing up. So,
that.
like,
Right.
when I go live, I guess I'm like kind of like living my childhood dream in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like having people watch
Yeah.
me while I think. But definitely like giving out free game. Like viewers come on and they ask me questions and I like helping people. I'm not that person that's gonna be like, yeah, you gotta pay me for help. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do that. Or like pay
Right.
me to like for me to give you game or give you like some tips or something like that. So and it's cool, people are commenting while I'm talking, it's a fun thing. They get to see me do what I like to do. So it's a cool little thing. I don't see it going nowhere far. But honestly it's just for fun right now, you know.
You never know, man. You never know,
Yeah, you
man.
never
You
know.
end up blowing up with this whole designing thing, clothing.
Yeah,
People may be looking forward to the free game and stuff like that. More and more people
yeah,
may be checking it out. So I
yeah.
would definitely say like keep it going for sure because I think that's like mad interesting that you do stuff like that because like you give people a glimpse of like what you got going on with your with your
Yeah.
life and you got a glimpse of what is going on with what you're trying to do, like your passion and everything like that. So I think that's
But,
pretty neat. I think that's pretty
yeah, I
neat.
mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, but also I be feeling like maybe like, do you think I could be giving away too much game? Like sometimes I be
Nah.
thinking, you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like, all
That's why I
right,
be
like
trying to hold back.
I'll give you some game to help out, but I'm not trying to have you be better than me type thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still,
yeah.
I
What's the
feel it, I
limit
feel it.
to it?
Yeah, no, I feel that, man. I feel that for sure, for sure. What else, man? What else I gotta ask you?
Let's
Trying
talk
to
about
think.
ball. Let's talk about ball. What's up?
Hey, I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. How you feel about the? Obviously, I talked about the Sixers in the last episode, man. I'm assuming you're a Sixers fan. You're a Sixers fan.
Oh, I am not a Sixers fan. I am
Oh, who's your team, man?
not.
Hey, who's your
I really
team?
don't.
Who's your team?
I honestly really don't have a team. I
All
just
right,
watch.
all
But if
right,
I have
all
to
right.
pick, I say the Knicks because I'm from Jersey.
That's disgusting, but all right, all right.
Yeah.
would you have? How you feel about the Knicks this season, man? How you feel about their chances of going back to the finals?
I mean, I haven't
It's
really
not happening.
watched that much, but I feel like I feel like we got a chance. I think that I put faith in them. You know what I'm saying? I don't really watch too much, but I'm a root for them. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I
I
was
feel
really
it.
talking about like high school journey, like my high school ball.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
go ahead. My fault. I don't know why I went to the NBA. My fault, man. Talk
You
about it,
know,
man.
I know you the NBA. You know, you the guru. I don't really. You
Chill,
know what I'm
chill,
saying?
chill. But yeah, talk about your high school journey and everything like that, man. Talk about it.
Nah, but yeah. Nah, basketball was a big part of my life. Like growing up, sports in general, like football, basketball. You know, playing high school ball. I really wanted to go to school for ball, but that didn't
For
end up
football?
going well. Huh?
For football?
Nah, for basketball. I wish
Oh,
I would have kept playing football because they be giving out scholarships like
that is
fucking
true.
like it's a
What position
dollar.
you play in football?
Oh, wide receiver.
Nah, that wasn't me, man. I played football for 2 days. I thought I
Uh
could go in and pick my position, go and
huh.
be a tight end. They put me on the defensive line. I quit after that, man. I couldn't do it.
Wait, how
Couldn't do
old
it.
were you? How old were you?
This is like what? I was like, I played football for like when I was in like 7 years old, seven,
Uh
7 or 8. But all I know is that I came in, thought I could choose my own position, everything like that.
huh.
Had me put on D line. Got pancaked after my first practice. I was like, nah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I
for
feel
me.
like everybody goes through that. Like when I first started playing football, I had got tackled. I still remember I got tackled and I hit my head on the ground and like my all I seen was gray and like stars, like in
Nah.
the cartoon.
Yeah.
So
Nah.
I was
I'm good
going to
off
quit
of that.
after that, but my mom was like, "No, I paid money for this equipment. You're not quitting." So I kept going.
Nah.
Had to keep going.
Nah. Me, I was the other way. Mom was like, "You sure?" I was like, "I'm positive. I'm not trying to come back to practice, man. I'm not
He
trying
was
to."
out of there.
Nah, I was gone, man. I was gone. But yeah,
Yeah.
continue though. You're saying that you wanted to go to school for basketball and everything like that, and it was an important part of
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah, I wanted to go to school for ball. I had like JUCO stuff going on, but I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I wanted a college experience, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
But
I guess I gotta put ball down. You know, when
yeah.
I first came, I was still like working out and stuff. Like I don't know if you see me, we're not in the same year, but freshman year I was at the course every day.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I was
for
thinking
sure,
like
for
my
sure.
hoop dreams was still, you know what I'm saying? But I had
Yeah,
to come to
yeah.
a realization, like, sometimes you gotta just pick up other things, and that's what I'm doing right now. So.
No,
Yeah.
I totally understand. When I was little, baseball was a huge part of my life when I was little. I loved playing
Right.
baseball. Basketball was like my second sport, but
Uh,
baseball was like my first sport. I love
sorry.
baseball,
I could never
and
play baseball, bro.
baseball is so much fun. I'm trying to get
But
so
it's
many people
hard
on the
though.
play. It's bro, outside of hitting, it's so much fun, man. The hard part is hitting. You can't hit a 90 miles per hour fastball, but everything else, man, about baseball is fun, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. But
um,
yeah, I used to play baseball, second base, shortstop, all that. And I was playing up until like high school and everything like that. Once COVID happened and some other stuff happened, I decided like to step away from it because obviously like I wasn't getting scouted. I wasn't realistically speaking like Temple. I wasn't coming to Temple to play baseball and stuff like that. I'm
yeah.
not going to the MLB. I wanted to go to the MLB when I was little, but realistically, you gotta look at yourself and be like, that's not panning out. So, I
Yeah.
was saying, what else could I do? What else could I do to, if I'm not playing a sport, what else could I do to somewhat, give it,
Yeah.
justice and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
And one thing I used to listen to a whole lot when I was little was The Right Time of Lamont Jones. It still comes on, but that's like one
Uh-huh.
of my favorite podcasts to listen to.
Yeah.
It's just this guy, he just talks about sports and everything like that. And I was like, you know what? Let's go give it a shot. Let's go do podcasting and stuff like that. And, that's how I got to this spot right here. So,
Okay. So
you know, it's just,
if you had to work in
go ahead, go
within
ahead.
like an industry like sports, would you pick MLB over NBA or NBA over MLB.
Oh, that's tough, man. Honestly, if it's one or the other, man, it really depends on what I'm doing. If it's like, oh man, if the Dodgers gave me if the Dodgers gave me a job
Mm.
versus like the Sixers, if it was between the Sixers and the Dodgers, I'm going to LA. Like,
Going to LA.
I'm going to go to LA for the, I'm going to
Yeah,
LA for that Dodgers job.
I would too.
Yeah,
I
so
would.
I would say MLB first for sure.
Okay.
I'll say MLB first for sure, man, for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I do think it's interesting though how you talked about like how things didn't like pan out for you and everything, but you had to find your own way, and I think that's like really like a testament to like just
Mm.
not only just getting older, but just like understanding that like you may have one plan, but life has other plans, and you just got to adapt and make the most of it. And
Yeah.
that's kudos to you, man, because that's kudos to you for sure, because you could have easily been like, oh, I'm not going to the league. Nah, bump this. I can't find nothing else to do. But you found another
Yeah.
alleyway when it comes to like designing clothes and doing stuff like that, and it makes you happy. So I feel like that's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, it also teaches you like a little like discipline, because it was a
Yeah,
couple times that like, you know, maybe I made a design or whatever and like nobody liked it, or maybe I made a design for a client and he didn't really like it and I had to refund his money. So it was a lot of ups and downs when I first started this thing. But definitely like this taught me like discipline, and like I feel like if you ever like want to do something, if you continue to do it every day and you put your all into it, something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna say
for
yes.
sure,
So,
for
you
sure.
know, definitely taught me
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of discipline.
For
Definitely.
sure, man. Same with this thing, man. I tell people this all the time. They'll be like, "Oh, this must have been so easy." It's like it's not, man. But it just
Yeah.
takes discipline and patience and just the grind, man. You just gotta love it, man. And just you gotta love coming in and understanding that you're not. There's no way that you're gonna have one thing pop off and you're gonna be like a one hit where
Yeah.
the first thing that you post is gonna get the most engagement. Like that's not realistic. Like
Hmm.
there's gonna be some days where you're gonna question whether or not you still got it or not, and there's gonna be some days you're gonna be like, I do got it. And all it is just finding, the medium between both of those days and just continuing to put your head down and work. Because I promise you, once you continue to work and continue putting in the time and everything, man, things are gonna work out in so many more ways that you couldn't even
That's right.
imagine. So
That's right.
for sure, man.
Yeah. How much time we got
And
left?
just
I got
think,
another question.
oh,
I said,
go ahead, man.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
What's another question you
If
got?
you if you had to interview one person, right? Who you picking?
Oh
Interview, but
man,
it's
just
your
ever, just
last. It's
ever.
your last person. Like you can't interview nobody else. This is your
Oh,
last person.
like I can't interview anybody else after this.
Nobody else.
Le- LeBron,
LeBron.
LeBron, LeBron, LeBron,
Okay.
LeBron.
Like even outside of sports, like always LeBron. Like you gonna pick
Wait, hold
LeBron?
on. Let me think. See, now since you put outside of sports, I gotta think. I got to think. Hold on, hold on.
I mean, LeBron is a
If
good
it's
answer. You know.
yeah, but if it's outside of sports though, one person I really want to sit down with for sure, I feel like that'll be dope. Is like it's a tie. I want to either sit down with Denzel Washington or Obama.
That's a good one. And
Yeah,
who?
or Obama, or Obama, or Obama.
Oh, Obama.
Yeah.
Okay, those some good ones.
I
I feel
feel like
like
that would be
Denzel would be cool. Yeah.
Denzel would be dope. Denzel would
I
be
feel
dope
like
for
he
sure.
don't do interviews though. That would be even more cool.
Yeah, I'm saying. Plus, he's like he always gives off like the energy, like he's like a chill
Yeah.
uncle and stuff like that. Just being able to. All right, so since you asked me that question, I gotta ask you:
Yeah.
if you had it's like your last, time designing anything for anybody,
Yeah.
who is the who is the one person that like after this design you're like, okay, I'm satisfied, I'm good, I don't gotta do this anymore.
Yeah.
This was it. This was the end all be all. Who was the last person that you're
Uh,
designing something for, man?
is it a brand or is it a person? Or is it
I was
just
gonna
any
just do both. Just do both. Give me a brand and then just give me a person.
person wise? I would say it's a little dark, but I'll do somebody like Rick Owens, honestly.
Mm.
Do you know Rick Owens, like the luxury brand?
I've heard of Rick Owens before. I'm not
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
It's the shoes, right? It's the shoes, right? Or am I tripping?
Well, they're most known for their shoes. Um, but definitely like if it's a brand, definitely like a. You know what? Honestly, I take that back. I take that back.
Okay,
I
all
take
right.
that back. If it's a person, I think I would want to do like some like athletic wear with like an athlete or something.
Mm,
Like either like Kyrie or like anybody like an athlete. It don't really matter. So I would say person wise, I would say like an athlete, like their active wear or whatever.
got you.
Brand wise, I honestly I must say I think I'm gonna go Supreme. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do Supreme.
Supreme,
I feel
Supreme.
like
That's a good
Supreme
one
is like one of those brands that you can't go wrong with. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. And
So
people
I
still
think I'm
rock
gonna
it too. People still rock it too. So
not for real.
that makes sense for
But
sure.
yeah, I
I
definitely
thought
say those
honestly,
two. Uh-huh.
I honestly thought you were gonna say Kith because you were talking about Kith a little bit earlier. So I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah,
were
I
gonna
do
say
like
Kith.
Kif. I do like Kif. But if that's the only person I can do, I think I would stick to my streetwear routes and stay with
I feel that.
Supreme because Kith is a little like lifestyle. But
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love to work with Kif too. I'll be applying to them when I graduate. So
No,
hopefully they
that's a
pick
sub.
me.
That's a sub.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
hopefully you get it, man. Hopefully you get it, man. For sure, for
And,
sure. You got any more? You got any more questions, man? You got any more questions you want to ask, man?
uh, where do you see yourself going with this in 5 years, 3 to 5 years?
That's a good question, man. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but
Yeah.
in April, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have like a live episode and stuff like that, man. And
Okay.
I'm trying to get people to like come out, perform, stuff like that. Show their
Oh,
talent, stuff like that, pretty much.
so like some
And
NPR type thing, like NPR.
yeah, kind of like so. Think of it like a tiny desk, but the only difference
Yeah.
is it's not gonna be in an office. It's gonna be at the skate park, and it's gonna be a way for me to interact with different people and like just show what the podcast is about and stuff. But to go back to your question, man, 3 to 5 years from now, I just want this thing to be like stable. You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, hopefully around that time I'll have more growth, more experience with it, more awesome guests. But I definitely want to have like a sense of stability with this where I'm like, okay, I'm making more money with this. I'm seeing tons of return on this. Like this is going somewhere, important.
Mhm.
I've had people tell me already, like, doing 50 episodes, that's not a normal feat. Like, keep going
Mhm.
with this thing and for sure, like it's growing. So
Yeah.
I feel like I owe it to myself to see how far this goes until the wheels fall off for sure. I mean, and the way I see it, I don't see the wheels falling off anytime soon with this, man. So 3 to 5 years from
Sir.
now, just yeah, 3 to 5 years from now, man, just hoping for more stability, more money for sure coming into the podcast. um,
Yeah.
but more money for sure, but just more fun and just more laughter and stuff like that too, man. So enjoyment. But yeah,
Okay.
for
Well,
sure.
I hope both of us get what we want. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. We're gonna
2025
we're
is
gonna
time
get it,
for
man.
us to get us, get our stuff
We're
together.
we're, we're gonna get it for sure, man. I'm definitely in 3 to 5 years. I'm definitely gonna have you back on the podcast. You're gonna
Yes,
be
sir.
sending over a gift, sending over a gift collection to the
Yes,
YB pod
sir.
and stuff like that. I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing, man. I'm already knowing. Just don't forget about me, man. Just don't forget about me, man.
Nah,
That's all I ask.
you don't forget about me, brother.
I won't. I won't, bro. I won't, bro. I won't, bro. But if you don't got any more questions, man, I feel like that's gonna do it, man. I just want to say, Ty, man, it's long overdue, but I appreciate you for finally coming on the episode, man. It's been
Nah.
awesome. It's been cool talking to you, learning about your journey, learning about how far you've come with this. I'm proud of you, man, for how much you've been putting into this, man, and you seeing some major success, man. So just keep it going.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. It was long overdue, but I'm here, so that's all really matter. But
For sure,
yeah,
for
bro.
sure.
Thank you for
Oh, I
allowing
got
me
one
to.
more question. I got one more question.
What's up? What's up?
I got one more question. All right,
Yeah.
you talked a little bit about this earlier, man, but you got any advice for any people who are listening who possibly want to get into like the whole clothing design business and stuff like that?
I would definitely say, a lot of people ask me this, especially like when I go live. I would definitely say to study, and when I mean study, like watch people that you may admire that do clothing design, watch YouTube, buy books or whatever. Before you even get into designing or whatever on your computer, like learn good design. You know what I'm saying? You can hop on the
Yeah,
computer all you want, but if you don't know what good design is, or you know what I'm saying, it's not, you're not, you'll get to it. You'll get to where you want to be, but it's
right.
better to know better practices and you know what I'm saying? So just studying the game, also practicing, like doing it every day. Do one design every day. Do, sketch every day. You're gonna get
For
better.
sure.
So just not
For
leaving one
sure.
day without you doing anything. So that's what I would say, honestly.
For sure. That's what's up, man.
Hmm.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yes,
That's what's
sir.
up. Yeah. I might as well just answer because I feel like you're gonna ask anyway. I feel like you're gonna ask, so I might as well.
Well,
Um,
uh,
yeah. Anybody want to do a podcasting and stuff, man? Obviously, just like he said, study, man. If you got a specific style that you want to, look at or copy and stuff like that, like Joe Budden or Joe Rogan or anything like that, man. Just study the podcasting, pros at it already. And then also too, when it comes to that, and not even just podcasting, but it can also be the same with designing clothes as well. Authenticity matters. If you're just going in and you're just copying what other people are doing, it's gonna be a whole lot harder for you to have a target audience and a whole lot harder for you to have like a fan base that can follow you and stuff like that. When the
yeah,
same thing that you're posting is literally the same exact thing that other people are posting and talking about. So authenticity over everything, man. That's the most important thing. That's
yeah.
the
No,
that's the best advice I could give.
I'm not gonna lie. That's great advice. Honestly, because there's so many like copycats in the world. So
For
I
sure,
feel like
man.
the more original you are, it's gonna
I'm
pay off
saying.
in the future. Yeah.
Most definitely, man. But
So
now,
listen to your boy.
yeah, yeah, free game. It's free game. It's free game.
Yeah,
It's free
free
game.
game.
It's
Listen
free
to your
game.
boy.
But now that's gonna do it, man. We just want to say, thank y'all checking this out, man.
So,
Episode was sponsored by Legacy Jersey Shops. If you like soccer, go check out Legacy Jersey Shops. It's a large collection of soccer jerseys, more on the way. And also go check out ybpod.com. Everything Young Bulls Pod related is on ybpod.com. This is gonna be on there tomorrow for sure, so make sure you guys go check that out. And yeah, man, without being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Ty, thank you again for coming on, man. But it's been
yes,
real.
sir.
Peace, man. Peace.
See you, bro.